So me and my family are all moved into our new house, and it's time to show you guys the new yard that I am going to be working on. And just, I want to warn you, the images you're about to see may be shocking for some. So to give you a little background, our house was built about 1 year ago. It was sodded in the front and seeded in the back. So here's what we got. Beginning with my front yard, all of this was sodded, and needless to say, it never really got much water because the sod is mostly dead and quite a bit of weeds in it. Here you go on the other side. I think I may have one of the world's largest dandelions, so that's always a plus, you know. And so you can see here, not as bad right here. Look at this, I got a little bit of green grass showing some of them seed heads. But yeah, for the most part, I think we got a little bit of water from the neighbor, and that's what happened to keep this part green. Now, one of the things to note is it's very typical in a lot of housing developments that they're going to sod the front and seed the back. Now, as you see with mine, my sod is pretty much toast. There's very little green. It's almost completely dead. So if you're somebody who gets sod, you're getting ready to move into a house that's going to be sodded in the front, it is so critical with sod to water, because what happens is that grass grows in a nice controlled environment, nice perfect grass. Then it just gets completely just cut up and thrown onto a truck, rolled up, and then goes and just gets dumped on this real hard ground. That's a lot of times there's rocks and all kinds of stuff. And so if you want to get the grass any kind of a chance, you need to water it to get those roots established for it to take. The problem with my lawn is that it's like it never really got established, and so like we've had a lot of rain here recently, so if your grass isn't green right now, you got some serious problems. And so make sure you're watering the lawn if you have sod. So now let's look at some of the seeded areas of my lawn. So here we go to where the sod line stops, and oh my goodness, look at these weeds. I got like a weed farm back here. So you can see we got some clover, and we got a little bit of everything back here, and very little actual grass. Except right there, we're doing all right. But as you look, it's very patchy, and you're gonna see continues to be full of weeds. Man, I look like I'm doing really good with some of these weeds. Woo! Look at that. So you can see all throughout the back here, this was all seeded. And if you look closely, you can see the netting down here. So you can pull this up from where so if you can see here, you can see where the netting was, where they threw down the seed and straw and everything. It just never really got watered good. And so it's allowed weeds to completely take it over. So as you continue to walk around to the back here, it's only going to keep getting worse from here. Tons and tons of rocks. So if you're somebody starting a new lawn, rocks, not good at all. Look here, here it is. I got a nice pond back here, but just absolutely nothing to show for as far as my lawn's concerned. And so as I walk here to the back, you can just see just literally nothing but weeds and pretty much dirt. I'm pretty much sitting here on a barren wasteland. And then as you kind of get over here to the easement, then we kind of, they take care of this. So they actually got some good grass back here, but it's just getting off the property line a little bit. And so kind of right there is my whole backyard. And as you can see, it's literally just nothing. So now as you get in kind of to any kind of common area or area that just some other company is going to keep track of, or the HOA, most of the time they're going to plant a very like low maintenance grass, and typically it's going to be tall fescue. And so if I get in here and I see, you can just see how thick that grass blade is. And so this is mostly tall fescue. So the one thing with tall fescue is that it doesn't blend well with some of your other cool season grasses because it's so thick. Typically the contractors and that putting that stuff down aren't going and trying to get the turf type tall fescue stuff that's going to blend better. They're just going to get the cheap stuff that stays green as long as it can and a very low maintenance grass. And so that's the one thing I do have to kind of watch out for when I start doing this, is like there's going to be a difference between what I'm going to plant versus getting into kind of the area that are down on the hill going into the pond. And then lastly, you get over to the other side of the house and just the same thing, just not much grass, a lot of weeds, and a lot of work to do. So and so here's a better view of what the netting and that would have all looked like when they put it down. So just kind of had the netting with the straw and everything, just kind of holding it all down, and it's just meant to get watered. So then right here's kind of the line between where the sod was put in. You can see it has, it kind of goes up towards the house. Got a lot of water because of the drain, so this side's doing pretty good. This is some Kentucky bluegrass. As you can see from the seed head and just the shape of the leaf. So see, it was sodded with Kentucky bluegrass back here, and then just seeded here, and that's where it just nothing was watered properly or taken care of. And so a lot of work to do. So what do you think of my new lawn? Beautiful, isn't it? And so I have a long ways to go to get myself back to the peak of lawn care. So what I want to go over briefly is, what is my plan? Where do I go from here? So I hope that some of you are watching this video and you're in the same situation that I am. So don't get down on yourself. It's not hopeless, even though it looks hopeless. It's easy to have a bad day, come out, look at your lawn, it's going to crap, and it just feels like everything's going to crap. And so it doesn't all have to be bad. So we can fix this. And so as I start putting out videos over the coming weeks, it's going to be me rehabbing this lawn, getting it to where it needs to be so that I can get back to lawn care domination. Now, I do have one big thing that's going to start working against me as I get further into the season, and that's going to be the temperatures. Right now is about the perfect time. If I'm going to plant grass in the spring, right now is about the perfect time. We're still getting a lot of rain. Temperatures aren't really that hot yet, and so it's like prime time if you're going to plant grass. The issue is that it's like we're going to be getting to the tail end of that time here very, very quickly, where the rain's going to subside more and we're going to start getting very hot temperatures that the cool season grass doesn't want to grow in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this new look into our new lawn. I got a lot of work to do, and so if you're like me, and this is what you're looking and seeing when you look out at your lawn, stay tuned, because follow some of these steps that I'm going to be doing. They're going to be practical steps to help you go from literally a lawn that's a 0 to the hero of the neighborhood, and everybody's asking you, man, how did you get a lawn like that? And so that's my plan, and that can be yours as well. So I'll see you next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.